August 2019 killing of his 11-year-old sister. 17-year-old Corbin Redmond, who was 15 at the time of the incident, pleaded guilty in February to a single count of careless or reckless discharge of a firearm causing death. Redmond was charged in the death of Addison Redmond. Police say she died from a 20-gauge shotgun blast to her head. If Redmond were to be sentenced as an adult, he would face up to 150 days in jail and 3 years probation. Instead, he will be monitored by the state until he turns 21. He must wear a tether for up to 6 months and can only go out in public with his parents or grandparents. Covenant Healthcare volunteers are hosting their annual Spring Fling Flower Sale today at Bliss Park campus on North Michigan in Saginaw. The event is held each year just in time for Mother's Day. The money raised will support Hands of Hope, a fund designed to assist Covenant employees facing unexpected or emergency situations that would require financial support. The flower sale is open to the public from now until 5 p.m. with food trucks available for customers. The Saginaw County Health Department has announced a new location for walk-in clinics inside the former Sears department store in Fashion Square Mall. Tuesday through June 30th, the Health Department vaccination team will be there every Tuesday from 9 until 4 and every Wednesday 3:30 to 6:30. The Health Department has temporarily leased the old Sears department store for May and June to provide residents with a convenient centralized vaccine location near the restaurant and retail corridor in Saginaw County. A decision on extending the lease will be made later. The Health Department said it made the shift to a temporary indoor site for a number of reasons, including for the vaccine, reducing the need for daily clinics, walk-in flexibility, and evening hours. The state Senate approved a bill that would remove capacity limits on high school graduation ceremonies. Mallory McMorrow was the only Democrat who voted in favor of the bill. McMorrow says she spoke to superintendents throughout her district before making her decision. She says there are fears that families who can't go to graduations could hold ceremonies that would hold more of a threat to spreading COVID.
I would hope that the focus would be on getting more people vaccinated and encouraging these events to take place outdoors, where the CDC is now saying, it's safe, especially if we can hit those vaccination rates, and not requiring masks outdoors. So it felt like a messaging bill and not actually addressing an issue.
The measure now moves to the State House. The State Senate Elections Committee holds a hearing on a series of bills that opponents have called voter suppression. One of the most debated measures is a bill to end drop box voting at 5 p.m. on Lansing business owner David Hopkinson said limiting drop box voting would particularly harm working people who live in rural areas.
They want to be able to vote on election day because stuff can happen that could change their vote, change the election. They don't want to vote before election day for the most part, but they have to go to work in some town 40, 50, 60 miles over, and they need to be able to drop their ballot in the drop box. And so if you restrict the time that they can drop their ballot in the drop box, you make it harder for them to vote.
The bill was proposed by State Senator Ed McBroom, who claims it will make it easier for clerks to count instead of waiting until the polls close to clear the boxes. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Today becomes mostly cloudy, rain in the area about near 52 degrees, winds westerly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, any rain ends early, otherwise gradual clearing, lows drop to 36, winds west-southwest around 5 miles per hour. Friday, partly sunny, chance for rain redeveloping, highs making into the middle 50s, winds west 5 to 10. Friday night, any showers end early, otherwise gradual clearing, lows fall back to 33. Then increasing clouds Saturday and highs reach 56. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Right now it's 45. Now, the only local radio chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Oh, a good Thursday morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. I think you're going to hear a theme throughout the morning, and I hope it is a positive theme. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to Gino Giacumbo. He manages the Blue Water Convention Center. He's going to be talking about things reopening in the state of Michigan. At 11 o'clock, we're going to talk to someone from the Michigan Festival and Events Organization about things happening in the state. And we're going to start this hour off doing exactly that same thing. The Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational LPGA Golf Tournament returns to the Midland Country Club in July. We're going to talk about that this morning with its executive director, and we say good morning to Chris Chandler. Chris, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art. This is a great Thursday.
It certainly is. It's about time we had lots of good news, and I think people are pent up and can't wait to hear things like we're going to talk about this morning. So let's talk about the tournament, and first of all, let's start with just a brief overview of what's happened the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, Art. Hey, thanks for having me this morning.
Oh, no
Like
problem.
I said, this is a great Thursday. We are so happy to announce today that given the out on Tuesday from the state of Michigan, that we are allowed to have fans at the tournament this year. And after 2 years of being away with the tournament, and after the last year of all the ups and downs, right, with all the events and gatherings and restaurants and everything we've been through, it's really positive momentum here that we've been working with the state for months and months on this, trying to find the right spot where we can open things up and get back to having these fun outdoor events that aren't only fun to attend, but that bring a economic impact for our region, and we just are really happy today and can't wait to welcome fans back to the 21 Dow GLBI the week of July 11 through 17.
I know you met with Jim Fitterling this morning, the CEO of Dow. Is he pumped up and ready to go?
Oh, Art, that's an understatement. He's so ready. One of his personal passions is playing golf, and this event, he just loved everything about it in 2019, and 30 plus ancillary events that week during Dow GLBI, and I think I saw him at 29 of the 30 plus the tournament. He was just over the moon, and it was great to talk to Paul W. this morning as well, and just the excitement of being able to go to these events, with people this summer will be outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, it really it is going to be wonderful. Right now, have you put a cap on the number of tickets you can sell, or is that an open question yet?
Yeah, we're still working with the health officials to determine all of that. The good news is to report that hopefully here in a couple weeks we'll get ticket sales out to the public where you can start buying tickets to the event, which is great. We're just really excited about that. We still do need some volunteers to sign up, Art. So if there's any listeners out there that they want to volunteer for the event, we need a couple hundred still. It's $45 to volunteer, and you get a package worth several $100s of merchandise, shirts, hats. You get fed during your shifts. You get tickets to the event all week. Yeah, inside the rope, behind the scenes access, which is awesome.
Yeah. Let me ask about the numbers, because I mean, you could start out. I'm going to pick numbers out of the air, Chris. All right. Let's say you decided you could sell 10,000 tickets. The state could come along in a couple of weeks and loosen it even more. There's nothing to say you couldn't then double that and sell more tickets, and your number could increase as we get closer to the tournament, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said in the beginning here, we've seen a lot of ups and downs, right? We saw last summer kind of open up, and then we saw things tighten up again in the fall. And so our hope is that as vaccination rates continue to go up, we're seeing a big decline here the last couple of weeks in Michigan, which is great. So our hope is that things continue to ease from a restriction standpoint, and those guidelines loosen up. But we're also realists in the sense that, we just don't know. This thing's took us on a roller coaster here the last year and a half. So
certainly has.
We're cautiously optimistic.
All right, but before I take a break, one quick question. I want to get this out of the way because one of the negatives is Eat Great is going to go away. We should point out, though, that's not because of COVID restrictions, is it? It's because the restaurants are having problems.
Yeah, you're right. We are, with the good news today, we also did release that the Eat Great Food Festival, the 2-day festival that we were planning for downtown Bay City, will be canceled this year. And it's more of the restaurant industry has, we all know it's taken a huge hit this last year and a half, and that's an understatement. They're having problems with the current guidelines, even, getting full-time employees. Obviously revenues and sales are down. Not to mention the short supply chain that are causing issues for restaurants right now. So, we're using the Eat Great brand to try to help the restaurants as best we can. And so we're still going to have the Eat Great trail on site at the Dow GLBI. That'll be an upgraded ticket that will be available for purchase. And we're going to find some creative ways to help our Eat Great partners along over the next couple of months leading up to the tournament as well. So stay tuned for more details on those.
All right, Chris, hang on. I want to take a break and we'll come back and talk more about the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. We'll give you the dates and all kinds of information. Coming up with Chris Chandler, the executive director of the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. We'll be back after these notes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shep.
And I'm Mark.
And we're the friendly board-certified entomologists from Rose Pest Solutions.
Shep, when it comes to pest management, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah, it seems like people only think of us once they've spotted a pest.
And by then, it could very well get out of control and be expensive to treat.
That's where our free home assessments come in. We'll look for signs of pests and identify conditions that are conducive to unwanted visitors.
After identifying those conducive conditions, our team will work with you to decide the best course of action.
At Rose, we have several home service options, including year-round protection, exterior-only treatments, or one-time services.
Whether it's a mouse in your house, cockroaches in your crannies, or a full-blown millipede bloom,
we have just the right solution to make your yard and your home more livable.
Protect your health and home. Call 800-966-ROSE. Rose will get the best of your pest. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for JB's Market in Munger. You are going to get a 1-pack of JB's Protein Power Balls and a 4-pack Market in Munger for only $5. That would usually cost you $10. You are getting it half off. JB's Market serves all Michigan-made products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Who's really running Joe Biden's White House? The First Lady? Kamala Harris? Maybe Barack Obama? Now, Newsmax's Greg Kelly asks the tough questions. Watch Greg Kelly tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern and see his series, Who's Really in Charge? Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, tell your cable operator you want Newsmax. Free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching right away. Millions are watching Newsmax. So should you.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
New claims for unemployment benefits slipped to a pandemic low last week, down 92,000 to 498,000. It's a sign that fewer employers are laying off staff and that companies are hiring. Though it's encouraging to see the number under 500,000, it's still about twice the number of new unemployment claims reported before the pandemic. The Labor Department releases the April employment report tomorrow morning. Moderna says it made $1 billion from sales of its COVID-19 vaccine in the first quarter of this year. It made a profit for the first time. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings lost more money than expected in its first quarter. It also confirmed that it is preparing to return to sailing this summer. It's continuing to work with the CDC. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Kosilva. Invested in you. Only
T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions enabled by our nationwide 5G network that help teams where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or feature. See T-Mobile.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Hey renters, it's Ty Pennington for Guaranteed Rate. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage every month. Look, mortgage rates are still historically low, so go to rate.com now to get a mortgage on your first home and upgrade your life. Like a legit home office, a new deck for you name it. Guaranteed Rate can help you go from renting to buying like crazy fast. Start at rate.com today. That's rate.com.
Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Company NMLS ID 2611 and MLSConsumerAccess.org.
Swing the ground ball, chopped to third, backhanded by Candelario. Cross the diamond to Cabrera, and Casey Mize does the job. Mize strands 3. The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Chris Chandler, the executive director of the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. Chris, obviously, you don't have a tournament without the LPGA. It's one of the very few team events on the LPGA circuit. What are you sensing is the commitment from the young women that play golf? Are we seeing signups?
We'll start to see signups here real soon, and hopefully by the end of May here, we'll be able to start announcing some of those team pairings. But hey, I'm really excited watching the LPGA this year and what some of the players are doing. You know, for example, I don't know if they're going to team up again, but man, you watch the Corda sisters both winning events early this year, back to back, both top 5 in the world right now. They played together in 2019 as a sister pair. You got to think if they pair up again that they'd be a front runner. Lots of good stories happening out there right now on tour.
Would we expect our champions to return?
We do. Absolutely. Yes. We have talked to Sydney and Jasmine, and they will be returning.
As a team?
Yes.
Oh, good. So there's another pair of front runners.
Yeah, they've had a great 2020 after they both won. They neither of them won another event, but they've had quite a few top finishes, which was really good to see.
So let's talk about the physical layout and what we think it's going to be. For example, will there be the VIP club seating in the pavilions that we had before?
Yes, there's a lot of the same stuff there with the Diamond Club around 18 green and 18 tee. We are planning for the Eat Great Trail again on site, which was that upgraded ticket that included food and beverage from local restaurants around the region. We've made a few updates to some of those decks, like the one on 10 green will move over to 17 green. And kind of create a little bit more atmosphere on the back nine, and we're looking at a few other exciting changes that will just enhance the experience on site.
One of the things that was very important to Dow was the STEM education project. You had the great interaction display inside the clubhouse. That's going to move, isn't it?
Yeah, so that display was our STEM and Sports Center in 2019, and we had planned this year. We're actually going to build it out on course, but given the situation with a bunch of the community centers and the summer camp programs this year, none of them are committing to doing any sort of field trips this year. And so it greatly reduces the opportunity to put kids through that. And so we've pivoted a little bit where we're still going to have a family and kids area on site at the GLBI. And of course, kids 17 and under always get in free with the ticketed adults. So keep that in mind. But we're also pivoting to a program called STEM to Them. And we realize through our partnerships with a lot of our schools and the Great Lakes Bay Regional Alliance that going virtual here has really affected a lot of reading and math skills with kids, particularly up through 8th grade. And so we're working with the teams to put out a STEM to Them program, little STEM kits that we're sending around to a bunch of schools that are in need, as well as community centers and the like in the region to distribute to kids to keep that education going and try to do our part from a STEM education standpoint.
Yeah, I knew that Dow couldn't let it just go away. Something had to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other issue that's very important to Dow is sustainability, and you guys were awarded the award for the most sustainability. You were one of the first tournaments ever to receive it, weren't you?
Yeah, it's a worldwide recognition from the Geo Foundation. It's a nonprofit based out of Scotland. So it's similar to what many may have seen on the PGA Tour with the Waste Management Phoenix Open, where they're the most sustainable event on the PGA Tour. We went through that same certification process in 2019, earned certification. It was not an easy a 5-year strategic plan to just do better, do good, do what's right for the event, for our community. We're really, really happy with all the results of that and are proud to now be a leader on the LPGA Tour when it comes to sustainability.
And we can't forget that the LPGA also named you Tournament of the Year.
Yeah, that was such an awesome honor and very unexpected. Coming out as a first-year event, you're just hoping to have a successful event and put on a good show for the fans and the players. And so when we won that award, it was truly humbling and just a testament to everybody here in the region that stepped up. Remember we had 250 community partners as a part of this event, over 1,000 volunteers, 35,000 people came up. $12.7 million economic impact on our region. Just truly a team effort from a bunch of different folks in the region.
Well, I remember particularly on the very first day, standing in the starters tent, and with me was the head of the LPGA at the time, because she was giving instruction to the girls because the team event was so new to them. And during one of the breaks, I asked her what she thought, and she said, "This is unbelievable. This first-year tournament is being run like it's been around forever." And I said to myself, did something right here. She was overwhelmed.
Yeah. The players loved the format. They had rave reviews afterwards. And it's something fun for them. It's different. There's no other team event like this on tour, and they their own partners. So, many of them, like I said, I touched on the sister pairs, that we had 3 different sister pairs. A lot of them picked their friends or other high ranking players in the world. So that was really unique. And to share that experience with somebody else where you're not just playing your own ball every day, it's fun, it's unique, it's different, and it gives them really something to look forward to. So.
And the other thing that really impressed me, aside from the talent of these young women, because I watched them tee off time and time again, and I'm going, wow, unbelievable, was the international flavor of it all. These are young women literally from all over the world.
Yeah, they are. They're from 34 different countries around the world, playing members on the LPGA. The TV broadcast hits over 100 countries around the world. They've got a huge swing over in Asia. The LPGA actually just partnered last summer with the Ladies European Tour, the LET. So we're going to even see that grow here.
Yeah,
now kind of looking at the LET as another feeder league into the LPGA, which is really cool.
It is wonderful to see these women from all over the world. It does provide one headache for the starter. Pronunciations. My goodness, did I have to do some studying last year. It was unreal. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
listen.
No, hey, but that's part of it. But, you know,
It
it's
is.
cool because you learn them.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, okay,
absolutely.
Yeah, now I know who this person is and where they're from and what.
Yep. I actually had gone online in 2019, and the LPGA had a big pronunciation guide, and I literally downloaded it and read it every day. It was amazing. Chris,
I was working on the same thing, Art.
Yeah.
Same here.
And I'd watch some of the broadcasts to hear how the announcers did it. You know, it was pretty interesting, actually. It was a studying event. Let's kind of draw this to a close with volunteers again, because you still need some volunteers. What types of positions are available for volunteers?
Yeah, we still need a couple hundred volunteers. Again, just go to dowglbi.com. There's a volunteer tab on there. It's got all of the committees listed, the descriptions. It even has in there what type of person would be great for this job. So, of course, there's some roles that you want some golf knowledge that's helpful, but there's a lot of roles that you don't need any golf knowledge. It's just a smiling, friendly face. Anywhere from fan ambassadors. We're going to have some safety ambassadors this year to help folks, abide by some of the guidelines that we'll have in place. We have folks that help with transportation, moving people around. We've got folks that just drive lunches out to the people working on the golf course. So there's a wide variety of opportunities here, and we even have opportunities for juniors too, with caddying in the Pro-Am on Tuesday. So please go visit dowglbi.com, look for that volunteer tab and sign up. It's a $45 package. Again, you get a shirt, hat, you get fed during your shifts, you get tickets all week. It's really a great value.
And the LPGA Academy, that's coming this year again?
That is, yeah, we're really excited. The Leadership Academy will be coming back here. It's going to be moving over to Mount Pleasant at Bucks Run. So we're excited to partner with them on the event. And I know that there's quite a few girls right here local in the Great Lakes Bay region and across the state of Michigan that have applied. And those folks will be, they'll be reached out to here real soon as far as who got in this year. But awesome opportunity for 40 young girls aged 13 to 18 to kind of learn a little bit more about the game of golf, and also go through a 2-day full kind of leadership training from some LPGA folks, it's a really cool program.
All right, last question, because we couldn't end without doing this, which we have not done yet. Give everybody the dates.
Yeah, July 11 through 17. July 11 through 17. So a couple weeks after the 4th, right in the middle of July. Should be beautiful weather here in Michigan. So please come on out. Remember, Monday and Tuesday are free to everybody to get in. Kids 17 and under get in free all week. General admission tickets starting on Wednesday are $10. You can get them online at dowglbi.com in a couple weeks here. So yeah, please come on out July 11 through 17.
All right, Chris, look forward to seeing you on Media Day and talking to you again.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Art.
Take care.
Have a great
Thanks.
Thursday.
Bye-bye now. Chris Chandler, the Executive Director of the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. We'll take a break, have open phones for the remainder of the hour here on the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
And the winner is...
Who doesn't love to win? Now you can win big at Wildfire Credit Union with the Great Loan Payoff. Finance any secured or signature loan at Wildfire from May through August, and Wildfire might just pay it off up to $50,000. That's right, they are paying off a loan up to $50,000 for one lucky winner, maybe even me. Loans must be approved by noon on August 31st to qualify. The Wildfire Great Loan Payoff drawing takes place in September. The winner will be notified immediately. Anyone who finances a secured or signature loan through Wildfire from May through August wins big with great rates and terms.
It's easy and convenient to apply. Just ask for Wildfire financing at your dealership. Apply online or directly at your nearest Wildfire branch. The Great Loan Payoff, now through August, only at Wildfire. Wildfire Credit Union, distinctively better. Loans subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. Visit wildfirecu.org/payoff for details.
Fast Eddie's Car Wash and Oil Change Center should be your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. We provide outstanding service when it comes to keeping your vehicle clean and running at its best. We're now offering the latest in car wash engineering, state-of-the-art technology. Twice the foam, twice the wax, twice the results. You won't be disappointed with the show. And to make it easy and affordable for you, we offer the Ultimate Car Wash membership starting as low as $22.95 a month. You can wash your vehicle every day of the week at any of our 16 locations. And while you're there, stop in and get a full-service oil change and 21-point inspection. You can't beat that value, convenience, and quality that Fast Eddie's offers. So whether you're treating yourself or your vehicle or giving a gift or gesture to a friend or loved one, flowers? Overrated. Dinner? Short-lived. Vacation? A little pricey. Give the gift you'll be reminded of daily every time you step in that vehicle. Fast Eddie's Ultimate Car Wash membership. Believe me, it will be appreciated. Fast Eddie's, your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. A team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8-ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here at WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Nice to have you with us on this Thursday morning, and our thanks to Chris Chandler for joining us this morning. I want to talk about cars for a moment because apparently General Motors, and they are not the only one, other manufacturers are doing the same thing. They have continued to produce automobiles. Now, that on its surface sounds great, wonderful. Budding industry, doing well. One problem is those vehicles are not going to dealers. They're being parked because there's no chips. They don't have the chips to make the vehicles complete so that they run. Ford, GM, Chrysler, Nissan, all in the same boat, held hostage by the shortage of the chips. And this strategy, the industry calls it a build-shy strategy. It builds as much of the vehicle as it can without the parts that require the chips. And then they store these thousands of built pickups, mainly pickups, SUVs, and vans. They're storing them all over the country, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Texas, Mexico. And so as they receive chips, they'll be able to build the components that require the chips and then put them in the vehicles and then ship them. But General Motors right now has about 15,000 parked vehicles. And that's a guesstimate, but they have not confirmed that. But Ford Motor Company is handling the chip shortfall in a similar way. Ford has about 22,000 vehicles awaiting parts at the end of March. This is going to be an issue. And what it's also done has driven up the price of used cars, much like a homeowner right now in a seller's market where you can put your house on the market and probably in a day or two receive offers for more than the value of the house that your asking price is and sell your house. The problem comes when you want to go buy another one, you'll be paying more for it. Same is almost true for used cars. Right now, dealers are scrambling to get as many used cars as they can, because if you drive around and look at dealers' lots, you will see they're sparse. They're not packed like they usually are in terms of new cars, and their used cars are beginning to thin. So this is a great time to do two things. One, trade in your older vehicle, and if there is a car on the lot you like, a good time to negotiate a deal with the dealer on the car. You're going to get more for your trade-in. And in order to sell the new car, the dealer might be willing to give you a pretty good price. It's a strange time right now in the auto industry. And after the break, I'm going to tell you why it's also a strange time in many other industries. Like, for example, the food industry, where you better be prepared to pay more for your basics, including chicken. There is a big chicken shortage. We'll talk about that after the break here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
It's new, the newly enhanced XT2 Series tractors from Cub Cadet. These lawn tractors have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated AeroForce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut with fewer clumps, finer clippings, and increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers no shifting. Just push the pedal and go. Enhanced XT2 Series tractors today at Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Swim trunks and milk. Whether you're on a vacation or getting groceries, if you don't make a list, chances are you'll forget something. The same is true in retirement. If you want to make sure you haven't overlooked anything, Jason and Carl Kreiderman at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can help. They have a checklist to help you find out if you are on track for retirement. Take the checklist challenge. If you can check all the boxes on the list, you may be ready for retirement. If not, Great Lakes Investment Advisors can help you address any potential costly mistakes. For the complimentary checklist, visit greatlakesoffers.com/list. See if you've got it right. Take the checklist challenge today at Great Lakes Offers. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Incorporated, a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Who's really running Joe Biden's White House? The First Lady, Kamala Harris. Maybe Barack Obama. Now, Newsmax's Greg Kelly asks the tough questions. Watch Greg Kelly tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern and see his series, Who's Really in Charge? Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, tell your cable operator you want Newsmax. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching right away. Millions are watching Newsmax. So should you.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 360. Here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSGW online poll, COVID crowd tolerance. Results of a recent survey show 65% of people believe they can no longer tolerate crowds and are doing anything to avoid standing in line, too. Some people say that that's going to change with a more vaccinated population. Others suggest it just might be how some people are now discovering that they like to live. The same survey showing 61% of people admit they're getting more annoyed easily with around other people and tired of trying to do simple tasks wearing masks. For our poll question, though, we centered on the crowd. What is your crowd tolerance now? And what will it be in a vaccinated future? Do crowds bother you now and you think that they always will now? Do crowds bother you now, but in the future, when you have a vaccinated future, you'll be okay again? Or crowds don't bother me now, so hey, the future doesn't matter because it's the same now as it's going to be in the future. We want to know what you think at WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and make your votes that.
Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. So we were talking about cars being parked because of a chip shortage and not being delivered to dealers' lots and how it's affected the used car market. Another thing that we are all participants in for the most part, unless you're a vegan or absolute vegetarian, is chicken. And we know there are chicken restaurants everywhere. And the shortage is causing a lot of problems for chains like KFC, Wingstop, which is one I'm not familiar with, Popeyes, all of the ones that specialize in chicken. Their prices have gone up drastically. For example, the chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast they use for their chicken sandwiches all over the place have doubled in price, went from roughly $1 a pound to $2.04 a pound for restaurants. Mainly because it's an interesting look historically at it, because during the pandemic, the restaurants, a lot of them were closed, a lot of restaurants were shut down, so they weren't serving as much chicken, and the manufacturers of the chicken, suppliers of the chicken, had cold storage areas filled with chicken. Once restaurants began opening up, the supply dwindled, obviously, because they were buying again. But now the suppliers are having trouble getting labor to produce. So consequently, it's flipped from having an oversupply to an undersupply. And in the world of supply and demand, when the demand is great and the supply is low, the price goes up. You can be prepared to pay more for chicken. You might also be prepared not to find all of it. KFC has advised some of its franchises to remove some specials, to limit the sale of chicken sandwiches, to stop selling certain products until the supply chain increases. Carl's in Saginaw waiting for us to chat with us, so we'll say good morning to Carl in Saginaw. Carl, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. You're talking about the shortages at auto plants.
Yep.
One of the things that's happened, over the last number of years, manufacturing has gone to this just-in-time that, they don't have big warehouses full of parts. They rely on inventory being delivered to the plant just as it's needed. And that cuts costs, and it works great, when everything is shipping on time. But if there's a bottleneck somewhere, then that kind of shows the weakness of this system.
Yeah, but it also helps you because it keeps the price at a reasonable level. And just in time has worked well. I mean, you're always going to have hiccups. I don't care what the system is. You're going to have hiccups. It wouldn't matter if they had a warehouse, because if they can't get the chips, there's nothing to put in the warehouse. They might have had a back supply for a little while, But you also have to remember that technology is ever evolving. They don't want to buy 1 million chips and find out tomorrow they're obsolete while they're sitting in their warehouse. So, it's a complicated process. It's not as easy as it sounds for a lot of reasons.
No.
A lot of reasons.
Well, yeah, the cars are very complicated. They're full of computers.
Absolutely.
And there's thousands of parts, that go into every automobile. It's actually amazing when you think that they work as well as they do, considering how complex they are. And
but when the computers work, they're wonderful. They make things better. When they don't work, then you got a problem.
Cars have gotten much more reliable, since they've become electronic. The old days of points and carburetors. And,
how I miss that.
I know you like
how I miss that.
The good old days.
The good old days.
But for a lot of those people, that meant, the car didn't. The choke was stuck.
Well, and you had to go in every 15,000 miles and get it tuned up and get new plugs and all of that stuff. I can remember the days, Carl, when if you had a 100,000-mile vehicle and you took it to a dealer, they'd laugh at you. It was junk. They didn't want anything to do with it. Now you're told you don't have to get it tuned up for 100,000 miles, so it's a big deal. It's different.
Yes. And remember, like changing flat tires, you would change, changing flat tires was like a regular occurrence.
Yeah. Everything's better.
Getting a spare
sure.
out. And now you go, 40, 50,000 miles on tires.
Depend on the tire.
They run just fine. Yeah, they'd run just fine.
Well.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
We have got a long way to go. All right, Carl, I got to go for time, but we'll talk again, my friend. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. Carl, and we thank him for joining us today. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With a Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription plan allows you to refill and pick up your medication from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company that more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/seniorcare. We'll be back.
Spring is here and we are ready to help your yard look just as vibrant and colorful as it should. Quality, locally grown products at very competitive prices. That's why so many of you come to Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. Hi, I'm Matt Bouvet. We sincerely appreciate our customers, and we want you to know that when you plant with us, you get the best plants, expert advice, affordable price, and the safety you would expect from our family-owned business. That's why your mom and dad or even grandparents started their spring with a visit to see us. Stroll through our more than 78,000 square feet of greenhouse. Enjoy springtime at its finest. Enjoy the smell. Feel the energy. Make it a part of your yard this year with the help of Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's that easy. Plan to plant with us this spring at Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center on Wadsworth near the freeway, Saginaw. See us today. Let us make your outdoors beautiful.
The 28th season of the Bay City Noon Optimist Club Travel and Adventure Series continues next Monday with Rick Ray's Getting the Shot Without Getting the Shot. From sneaking past Khmer Rouge to outrunning Somali bandits, director-cinematographer Rick stories behind his most compelling footage. Rick also gives tips to aspiring videographers on how to get past angry Indian mobs and talking your way out of an Ethiopian jail. Stories and clips from decades of misadventures will mesmerize you as you flirt with international danger and intrigue. Dished up by acclaimed storyteller Rick Ray. Please join the Bay City Noon Optimist Club this Monday, May 10th, for Getting the Shot Without Getting the Shot at the State Theater in Bay City. Show begins at 7 p.m. Seats are $10. This event sponsored by Rivers Bend Rehabilitation, Dr. Robert J. Holmes, M.D., Outdoor Adventures, and TC for Rick Ray's Getting the Shot Without Getting the Shot.
This country is great because of the people in this country.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
All right, that's going to do it for this first hour of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks to Chris Chandler from the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational for joining us early. Next hour, we're going to start talking about vaccinations and things reopening in Michigan with Gino Giacumbo, who is the general manager of the Blue Water Convention Center. And he'll be talking about what's happening in the state of Michigan. News first, CBS News coming up. Ann Williams with the local report, tell you what's happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and in the state of Michigan. And then we will be back with hour 2 of the Art Lewis Show. Talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah. Ron DeSantis has just signed tough new voting rules into law for Florida. Correspondent Peter King has details from Orlando.
After what he called the most successful Florida election ever, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis pushed for restrictions on mail-in ballots, drop boxes, even the handing out of food and water to voters lining up at polling places.
I have what we think is the strongest election integrity measures in the country. I'm actually going to sign it right here. It's going to take effect.
DeSantis signed the bill in West Palm Beach during a Fox News event with Donald Trump supporters who call themselves Club 45. Opponents call the law suppression. Election supervisors say it's unnecessary and expensive.
Other media outlets include not allowed in this morning. With more than 50% of the U.S. population now fully vaccinated against COVID, vaccination rates are dropping in many states. Mike Drinkard, a pharmacist in Huntsville, is worried shots will be reallocated and Alabama will see a new COVID surge.
Hopefully we won't get to that point where we'll be sending back or wasting. It's too precious a commodity to do that.
Epidemiologists in India believe the surge there could hit 500,000 cases a day soon. Correspondent Chris Livesey is in New Delhi.
Just keep in mind India's massive population of 1.4 billion people, and with many cases and deaths going. Real numbers appear to be as much as 10 times higher, with cases now spreading all across southern Asia.
There's been another boost in the pandemic jobs market in this country. First-time unemployment claims fell to 498,000 last week. That's the lowest level since March of 2020. Bank rates, Mark Hamrick.
Now, aside from the national count, we saw sizable declines in a number of key states, many of which have been problematic. And those include California, New York, Florida, and Virginia.
Analysts credit new hiring and fewer layoffs. Police in Baltimore have arrested a suspect in an attack on 2 Asian women as they tried to close their liquor store. Video shows someone hitting them with a cement block. One of the victims is John Yoon's mother.
It doesn't make sense why they would come here to make a living and be treated like this in a community that should embrace them, because we've been here for over 20 some years.
Confused about food labels, when something's still safe to eat and when you need to chuck it? A new survey finds a lot of us are, but co-author Catherine Turvey says
the food industry has taken an important step by voluntarily standardizing date labeling, and there are also efforts to introduce a federally regulated standard.
The Dow is up 63 points. This
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today at tractors.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Would you rather be just a driver, another employee, number on a spreadsheet, or a team member driving growth, friend to the face? If you want to be a valued member of a family that's growing and prospering every day, then Northern Logistics is now hiring CDLA truck drivers, both local and OTR. Northern Logistics offers great benefits, a strong emphasis on safety, 6-month bonuses, and a 401k match. Apply at norloworld.com. That's NORLO world.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 47 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Congressman Dan Kildee and officials from the Michigan Department of Transportation will tour the Zilwaukee Bridge. Congressman Kildee will discuss the importance of making infrastructure investments to rebuild Mid-Michigan's roads, bridges, and highways to help create good-paying jobs. Congressman Kildee supports the American Jobs Plan, which includes $621 billion for transportation infrastructure and $115 billion to modernize roads, bridges, and highways across the nation that are in the most critical need of repair. Repairing bridges like the Zilwaukee Bridge, which is vital to the Great Lakes Bay regional economy, would help to increase economic competitiveness and create good-paying Michigan jobs. At about 6:40 p.m., officers department at the Bay City Public Safety Department responded to McLaren Bay Region Hospital for reports of a person who had been dropped off with multiple gunshot wounds. The victim is a 19-year-old resident of Saginaw who's in critical condition. Officers received information that the shooting may have happened near the intersection of Broadway and 27th in the south end of Bay City. Officers located multiple shell casings in the street at that location. The vehicle the victim was believed to have been in was located near 11th Street and North Trumbull with multiple bullet holes. That remains under investigation. If you have any information, call Bay County Central Dispatch or Crime Stoppers. A new child care option is coming to Bay County. WSGW's Rick Antonio reported that a new child care it was made possible through the partnership of New Hope Bay Senior Living, the Great Start Collaborative, and Montessori Children's House of Bay City. The New Hampton Township facility will use a renovated New Hope Bay apartment model to offer preschool and kindergarten education and child care for kids starting at age 2 years old to 9. John Zarnacki, director of operations at New Hope Bay, says the addition will bring a magical enrichment for both older residents and incoming younger children, but it will also act as a new child care option to help the senior living center's employees.
those who come every day to very best help out there, take care of our residents. Many of them have kids. How can we make something convenient for them who need daycare for their kids or take advantage of the schooling that's provided? And so that was the other part of this formula.
Sarnacki says the Montessori school is licensed for 22 children, but plans are already in the existing building to nearly double its current size to offer added infant and toddler care. A ribbon-cutting ceremony to unveil the school is scheduled for this afternoon with an open house set for 10 a.m. Saturday. WSGW News Time is 10:08.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Gotta finish this today.
Cristiano's construction projects typically run smoothly, but this project's pipeline is about to burst.
Hey, boss, where you want us to put this? To the left. Your other left. John.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WSGW News Time is 10:09. Teenager convicted of killing his sister will be sentenced as a juvenile. 17-year-old Corbin Redmond pleaded guilty earlier this year to killing 11-year-old Addison Redmond. The incident happened in August 2019 when Corbin Redmond was 15. He shot his sister in the head with a shotgun, according to police. Redmond pleaded guilty to a single count of careless or reckless discharge of a firearm causing death. He'll remain under supervision by the state until he turns 21. Just in time for Mother's Day, volunteers at Covenant Healthcare are hosting their annual flower sale till 5 today at Bliss Park. That's just across from the in Saginaw. The Spring Fling is a fundraiser for Covenant's Hands of Hope Fund, which was set up to help employees who need financial support due to unexpected or emergency situations. There will be food trucks on site during the sale, which is open to the public. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have a cloudy Thursday with rain showers as high temperatures recover into the low 50s, west-southwest. Rain continuing tonight, ending before the overnight. Cloud cover 36 degrees for your low, and west-northwest winds still light. We have a chance for rain showers. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder towards the afternoon hours for Friday. Partly sunny skies, mid-50s. Winds picking up, feeling a little breezy. Shower and storm chances into Friday night, partly cloudy, a low of 34 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Thaluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 46 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us this morning. We are expecting a call from Gino Giacumbo from the Blue Water Convention Center about vaccinations and things reopening in the state of Michigan. When that happens, we will go to Gino. But until then, open phones prevail here this hour of the Art Lewis Show. And speaking of vaccinations, there was kind of a data survey done as to what people would like to do when they can go out and do it. and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Gino is with us this morning. We say good morning to Gino Giacumbo, the general manager of the Blue Water Convention Center. Gino, good morning to you.
Morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Thanks for joining us this morning. So you, like many other general managers, run a facility depending on having people in seats, if you will. We have one here in Saginaw, the Dow Event Center. They are sprinkled throughout the state of Michigan. How quiet has it been during COVID-19 for you? Before we get into the more positives of what's happening, what was this year like for you?
It's been extremely quiet, other than becoming a vaccination center for the health department since last March, when we shut down in the middle of our RV show. That's, as you remember, the ones you used to do in Birch Run when I was there.
Yeah.
That alone draws a lot of people. So to lose that economic impact right in the middle of a show was devastating. But then to keep pushing shows down the line and keep thinking it was going to happen by the end of the year or start of the year was, hopeful.
Yeah.
Getting further away. Here we are a year later, and there's no show again this year. It's just shocking.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was wondering if you were the same Gino I knew, and I kind of thought you were.
Yeah.
I thought you were. I wasn't sure though. But it's the Dow here did the same thing with vaccinations for a while, but now it appears that things might be heading in the right direction. I mean, you still are limited to the number of seats you can sell and how much space you can use. But what does it look like from this point forward for convention centers like yours?
The light is at the end of the tunnel now, finally getting closer. From my own personal standpoint, it's still, from the conventions and conference standpoint, they need a little bit more planning. So even if, we opened up, in July, there's nothing on the books as far as a convention or a conference for me that's been holding up. They've all pushed to 22, but there are plenty of brides. There are plenty of consumer shows. There are plenty of meetings and those type of the local variety that are still itching to get back and do in-person events, especially the brides who have been waiting since last year. And I'm on the phone with them, all for them, but I have some in June, some in July, some in August, and I don't know who's going to be the lucky one when we hit that maybe 25% capacity plateau. That will be it. Because once I hit that, I have the ability in my place to take the room we were going to be in, put them into the large 20,000 square foot room, and still do their wedding in there. Right. Because then I fit the capacity for that size of room. So
you could space them out.
An intimate room. Yeah, but I could put them in a 20,000 square foot hall for that used for a trade show, but space them out there and then follow the guidelines, and they're fine with that. I mean, they just want to have. There's one woman that, because it's 25 per, said, "Can I put guests in every room? And I'll just visit the rooms. I'll put my family over here, his family over here, my friends from college over here. Can I do it that way?" Everyone's trying to get creative. At this point with her, since it is June, we've already just had a backup plan. We're renting a tent outside just in case we don't hit the numbers by that date, and we're just going to do it outside.
And I mean, if they did that in multiple rooms with today's technology, it'd be easy to put in monitors so they can see what's happening in the other rooms.
It actually was a doable and agreeable. I checked with the health department, an agreeable way to do an event. I just told her I still think, if it's nice weather, I'll do it as a plan B. But if it's nice weather, I'll make it nice outside with the tent by the bridge. I mean, we're right on the water, by the Blue Water Bridge. It's, that they want to be there rather than in a room inside, in the interior of the building.
So let me ask, Gino, you're involved in this tourism business, and because of the shutdowns, have we lost many convention type facilities? I know, for example, the one you used to manage in Birch Run is now an RV dealership. It's no longer a convention center or an event center. Sold to the dealership. But have we lost many around the state that you know of?
I would say, I've heard of restaurants, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
That have not made it through. It would be the same for a banquet center that's solely a banquet center only. running on tough times. I know a couple that have, they can do off-site catering, so there is still revenue, but it's more of an impact, not so much on their business as a whole, but as the employees. They've lost staff that they can't bring back until this is over. And that's, to me, one of the bigger things is the hospitality industry as a whole. The number of employees that have been up until this is over has been just in the 80% range of all the employees.
Yeah, there's the next question is, where do you find your labor?
Well, yeah, when it comes back, I'm not in as difficult a position as, I'd say like a Grand Rapids or, where they have to hire hundreds of people back. And unfortunately, like the Dow, I'm in the same management group, ASM Global, that manages the Dow, that manages Grand Rapids. And so the network of places that have reopened in our corporate offices in the area of knowing that we're all going to have to revamp and almost be like a grand opening for all of our venues. Mm-hmm. So they're behind us, helping us sort of on a campaign of, there obviously are people out there that will need employment when they're itching to get back to work in that industry, because the hospitality people are passionate about what they do. They like being with people, and I don't think this is they don't want to be alone.
Yeah. Speaking of ASM news, and you might already know this, but one of your colleagues who used to manage the Dow, Zane Collins, did you know Zane when he was here?
I used to talk to him on the phone, but
yeah. Well, he went down to Jacksonville and was managing all their properties in Jacksonville. He now manages not only Jacksonville, but he's now the general manager of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome complex in New Orleans.
Oh, well, that is.
He's doing
our hub office.
He's doing both.
So that's a tricky thing. I remember when I used to do hockey, and I ran Louisville, the Panthers, and I was running them as well as the Elmira Jackson.
Yep.
And it's not easy to be in two different places at once.
That's for sure. Hey, hang on. We'll talk a little more after the break here. We're talking to Gino Giacumbo. He is general manager of the Blue Water Convention Center, works for ASM, the same company that manages the Dow Event Center. And we will be back after these notes.
These days, nearly every small business owner is looking for ways to cut costs. And that's where Spectrum Business comes in. They have the best business internet and phone available at prices that are up to half off what you're paying now. That's right. You can cut costs for your business and get faster internet. Just what small businesses need right now. Call 833-919-2129 and get all the value with none of the nonsense. That's Spectrum Business. 19-2129.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated price competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-573-9552. That's 800-573-9552. Or go to selectquote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are back with some killer deals just for you. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Cafe 13, the Frankenmuth Aerial Park, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and more, Beer Garden, and High Off. Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks open mixed. Investors are looking at new numbers on the job market, and there's another improvement. New claims for unemployment benefits slipped below 500,000 last week to 498,000, a drop of 92,000. The Labor Department releases the monthly employment report tomorrow. Shares of pharmaceutical companies are losing ground after the U.S. said it would support a temporary waiver of intellectual allow developing nations to produce COVID-19 vaccines. Moderna shares are lower, even though it made a profit for the first time in the recent quarter and made $1.7 billion from sales of its COVID-19 vaccine in the period. And Viacom CBS's first quarter was stronger than forecast, helped by streaming revenue. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Only T-Mobile for Business uses unconventional thinking to help businesses realize new possibilities, like our WFX solutions, enabled by our nationwide 5G teams stay connected and productive where work happens. We also provide an award-winning customer experience and first-class benefits with every plan. Get unmatched network support and value without any trade-offs at T-Mobile.com/unconventional. Capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers. Fulmer.
On the way, fastball, got him, strike three. And the Tigers win a wild one at Fenway Park. Michael Fulmer closes it out for his first career save.
Big time pitch.
Tigers. Art by
Ed Raymond and Sons in downtown Chesaning.
Your local auto owners agents, including Rummel Agency, Mayan Agency,
and Buck Insurance Agency.
The Tigers play on WSGW News.
Facebook's initial suspension of President Trump was correct. Mr. Trump should not automatically get back
News coverage
onto Facebook and Instagram.
We really ought to get vaccinated. It really is a good thing to do.
News coverage on WSGW.
All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to Gino Giacumbo. He's the general manager of the Blue Water Convention Center over in Port Huron and works for ASM, which is the same company that manages the Dow Event Center here. Gino, you mentioned you were turned into a vaccination center. Are you still doing that?
Just recently as the weather broke, they moved to outdoors so they could move quicker with the drive up with the cars. But they all from January until about 2 weeks ago, we're doing it in there.
I wondered if you had seen any decline in people coming out for vaccinations.
I hadn't seen it up until 2 weeks ago, but I'm reading about the numbers now seeming to drop off.
And what the governor has announced in terms of capacities in facilities like yours is pretty dependent on people getting vaccinated, isn't it?
Yeah, that seems to be the new path to reopening, and that's why I guess we're encouraging everyone to do that, because in the past where it was wearing a mask or whatever to help your neighbor or your relatives, now I'm looking at it like the vaccination is the path to helping some of these businesses like ours reopen and others reopen fully. Although I'm not sure, the 70% if it's the numbers dropping off, but I think we're pretty good as far as I'm looking at the chart on states as far as number of percentage of population vaccinated. We're up there in the top 5.
Yeah. So
that's a good sign, and seeing a lot of the other similar states to us starting to do more and more reopening.
Yeah,
if we get to that 25% number for me, I could do 80% of my events. With that number.
Have you seen and particularly with ASM being global as it is, have you seen touring shows indicating a desire to return to the road and actually perform?
Yeah, I think I forget what exact show I saw on Facebook this morning, but someone was announcing a September show coming back for touring, and I have seen it in other markets. Of course, I was talking Michigan with that Facebook post. There are things going on in other states right now already, so we know. So they're eager to get back to that. Obviously, everyone wants to do it safely, and
Yeah,
that's the goal. So we've in the towns we've been down, we revamped our air filtration touchless with all of our sinks and toilets and things like that. So preparing for when we come back, any obstacles that we could avoid, so that we could do it safely and start to have events again.
Yeah, well, it'll be nice because I think the public is pent up too. They're raring to go. Well, Gino, listen, I thank you for spending a little time with us. Good to hook up with you again. And
you too.
Let's hope the vaccinations keep going up and the capacities keep going up, and we get back to something that looks like normal anyway.
I agree.
All right, my friend. We'll talk to you again.
Thanks, all right.
Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye
No
now.
problem.
Bye-bye. Gino Giacumbo, general manager of the Blue Water Convention Center and former general manager of what was, of course, the Birch Run Expo Center, and then became the Frankenmuth Credit Union Expo Center, but now was sold and is an RV dealership. We move on now with open phones. Whatever you'd like to chat about, you can set the topic at 752-6111. Toll free 866-790 WSGW. There was a report. This was a report on what people are willing to go out and do right now, today. And I want to just go through this real quickly, and then we'll get back to the phones here. But activities that people are willing to do right now as things stand, where vaccinations are and everything else. 63.5% of the respondents said they would consider getting a haircut. 61% said they would consider going to the dentist. 55% said they would consider dining at a restaurant. 55% said they would return to working in an office. 47% said they would consider going to the gym. And where are people going out today? Haircuts number 1, dentist number 2, working in an office is number 3, restaurants number 4, gym is number 5. And it appears through this survey that men are much more willing than women to return to normal activities in nearly every category. All right, let's go to our phones. Mount Pleasant is where we find Jack. Good morning, Jack.
Hey, good morning, Art.
Morning.
Solution to get people back to work. The states should not take the $300 extra benefit that the federal government is providing, and they should reinstate the requirement to go back to work to collect benefits.
Yeah, well, that's what Montana is doing, although they're doing it a little differently. Montana has taken away the $300 supplement to unemployment insurance, and they have bundled it into a $1,200 payment if you go back to work and stay there at least 4 weeks. So you still get the 4 weeks worth of $300, but you have to work for it. And that makes sense to me, because if you're going to incentivize anything, incentivize people to go back to work, not stay off work.
Yeah, it's a shame. I get it. It's a shame they have to do that, but once people get a taste of heroin, they get addicted.
No, you get free money.
That's what all this stuff has become.
Yeah, once you get free money, you don't like walking away from it.
They don't. It's interesting, too, because like you're pointing out with prices going up.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. The dollars get printed, right? And the M2 money supply is high. And you've got more dollars floating around than there were before. If you don't have any economic productivity behind that, those dollars are worth less.
Well, that's
that's a big part of what you got going on.
The problem with increasing the money supply is inflation comes with it. Eventually, even though inflation now has not been great, it's going to go up. And even the Fed reported that they thought inflation was going to increase. We're all going to pay for it. I mean, we all pay for it one way or another anyway. So it's, comes out of our pocket, right or left pocket, doesn't matter.
Yeah, even Yellen slipped up the other day and had, backtrack, of course. So I don't know. It's bad. It's tough medicine, but in a way, I think it'd be good for the U.S. to experience some of this just to understand what the ramifications are of some of these things that we've instituted.
Well,
maybe we learn from it.
Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe.
We'll see. I do remember as a kid, though, I remember those 14% interest rates on certificates of deposit.
No, how about 18 and 19%? Jimmy Carter era.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy Carter era, we were at 18 to 20% inflation. That was, that was ridiculous. And you had to live with it. You had no choice. I mean, that was it. Now, the good news, and there's always good news, right? The good news is your savings earned higher interest, but the cost of living was sky high because everything was going up. So, they take from one hand and they put in the other hand. So who knows? Hey,
when you look back at those numbers, you really were gaining less than you are today. Today before what we recently had.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough, Jack.
Thanks.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye now. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, toll free 866-790 WSGW. It's the old he who giveth taketh. And be prepared. Be prepared. It is going to cost you more. Look at the price of gasoline. I've seen it at $2.99. Well, it's going to be over $3 before long. The price I talked about, the price of chicken the last hour going up. And, and what's interesting about chicken, if you look back, say, 20 years ago, the things that we used to throw away as garbage or buy for pennies on the dollar, chicken wings, are now one of the most expensive parts of the chicken because we've learned how to promote them and sell them. Every restaurant now has some form of chicken wings on their menu. And when you go into a shortage, the price of those wings goes sky high. Well, restaurants can only afford to do so much before they pass that on to you, whether it's in the form of a temporary surcharge. I go to one restaurant occasionally and get takeout where they surcharge every meal with beef or chicken 50 cents because those products have cost them more. And if the prices come down, they will remove their 50 cents. It's literally a surcharge. You're liable to find more of that in restaurants. Take out and sit down. Couple that with the fact that they're having trouble finding employees. They have to pay more. Their costs are going up. It's going to cost more for everything. You go to the grocery store, it's going to cost more. You go to the butcher, it's going to cost more. You go fill up your car, it's going to cost more. It's part in parcel because of the pandemic, because organizations, companies are having trouble getting labor to produce the products. Supply chain problems have created shortages. And it all falls back on us. I don't care what it is. It falls back on us. Now, and if you think that, this is good news if you're on, for example, Social Security, because the cost of living increase will be great next year. Maybe you'll get a bigger increase. It will have cost you far more than that increase provides. So hold on to your hats. Hold on to your wallets. Hold on to your money clips. Hold on to your credit cards. It's all going to cost more. Lines open for you. Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. And outside the state of Michigan, you can dial 989-752-6111. We'll be back with more.
Remember Mom this Mother's Day with something special from Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland. Choose from a large selection of fresh flowering shrubs and trees, perennials and hanging baskets, as well as all bursting with color and ready to enjoy. Our garden center features many selections of outdoor furniture, wind chimes, garden stakes, gazing globes, and many other unique items perfect for Mother's Day gifts. Gift cards are also available. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, located 1.5 miles north of the Midland Mall, just past Higher Standards Automotive on Eastman Road in Midland. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 4. Visit us on the web at www.maplehillmidland.com or like us on Facebook. Also, stop in at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland for the complete lineup of Morgan composting products in both bagged and bulk, as well as fertilizers and liquid products.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. You can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Attention timeshare owners. Getting out of your timeshare can feel like a battle. All you want is to save some money, reduce your stress, and stop paying for something you aren't even using. But the process can be daunting, frustrating, and confusing. But it doesn't have to be. With Newton Group, you get access to an exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. This secret weapon is something only Newton Group offers and was developed to help timeshare owners just like you save thousands of dollars and regain control of their finances. And part of why we have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 4.7 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and a proven track record to legally relieve you from the financial burden of your timeshare. If you want out of your timeshare, visit besttimeshareexit.com to learn more about this exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. Go to besttimeshareexit.com or call 877-TOP-EXIT. That's besttimeshareexit.com to get you out of your timeshare. Go to besttimeshareexit.com now or call 877-TOP-EXIT.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WS.
All right, back with you here on WSGW. There is a proposal floating around in Lansing about voting in the state of Michigan. According to the GOP, it's supposed to make voting easier for you, but I take umbrage with one part of it. They apparently have talked about limiting the hours of drop boxes to 5 p.m. on the day you vote. And the excuse is they don't want the poor clerks having to work late at night and do all of that. Come on. Let's be reasonable. Let's use common sense. If the polls are open till 8 o'clock, the drop boxes should be open until 8 o'clock. As a voter, you have until 8 o'clock on election day to cast your ballot. That should be whether you do it by mail, whether you do it in the drop box, whether you go to your polling place. 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. And I just, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in party politics that we lose sight of the purpose. And on the one hand, they say, well, we want to make voting easier. Well, okay, then don't close the drop boxes early. That doesn't make it easier. So I just thought I'd bring that little tidbit up because I do think that we need to have proper identification, all of that, so that we know that the ballots that are cast by people that have the legal right to vote. I mean, if you go to the polling place, they ask you for your ID. Why shouldn't you have to identify yourself if you use an absentee ballot or you put it in a drop box or you do whatever you do? I don't have a problem with that. But this notion of, well, we'll close the drop boxes early so the poor clerks don't have to work as late. Come on. 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. I don't care how you vote. You should have the right to do it up until 8 o'clock in the evening. Now, at 8 o'clock, I'd shut that drop box. You can't put it in at 8:01. No more than you can get it in the mail the next day. Or if you're not online at 8 o'clock in your polling place, you can't vote. Those rules are in place. There has to be a time limit. And that's it. That's reasonable. It's common sense. Common sense. And we hear this hue and cry, though, in other states like Georgia, where they passed that the new voting rights law, complained that it made it tougher. Actually, they made it easier to vote in Georgia. And when baseball pulled out of Georgia and went to Colorado for their All-Star game, they went to a state that has tougher voting rights than Georgia does now. Go figure that. I think, of course, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I think sports ought to stay out of politics. Baseball ought to stay out of politics. Either that, or let's remove all the privileges they have under federal law. See what happens. I also chuckle at politicians who say corporations ought to stay out of politics. And all of those politicians have gratefully accepted all kinds of political donations from those very same corporations. So if companies should stay out of politics, then maybe they should not donate to politics anymore. What do you think the politicians would say about that? You could hear the screaming and the hue and cries a million miles away. And the other thing about companies, corporations, the word corporation has all of a sudden been designated a foul word. And they talk about, I've heard the president say many, many times, the middle class built America. Well, yeah, but who gave the middle class their jobs? It was the innovators who created those companies to build those products that gave the middle class their jobs so the middle class could build for America. Never hear that. All you hear is the middle class build America. Well, who employed them? Who paid their salaries? Who paid them enough to become middle class? Those very corporations that somehow are the bane of society. Now, don't misunderstand me. There are some corporate execs who have misused their position and deserve to be chastised for it. But there are many, many more who run good companies and employ thousands of people every day with good paying jobs and provide profits to their shareholders, which we have a right as shareholders to earn. Companies have a right to make a profit that gets reinvested. So this notion of, well, let's tax corporations because they can afford it. Well, you and I are going to pay for it. Now, are the tax laws as they stand in need of review and modification? Maybe. Because is it fair that a corporation, and there's been, I think, 55 big corporations, pay $0 in taxes? No, that's not fair either. But by the same token, we're going to pay for it whatever happens. Whatever happens. Also got an email from listener Kurt, who suggested, when we talked about employees earlier, take the money that's given now as an additional benefit on unemployment insurance, transfer that to their wages. So let's say you were getting $400 over your unemployment insurance, or even $300. Take that $300 off the unemployment and give that to employers to give to their employees, so that when you go back to work, you're making $300 more a week. I think that, to me, makes perfect sense. You've incentivized work. That makes sense. Lines open for you. Give us a call. It's the Art Lewis Show on this Thursday morning here on WSGW. We'll be back.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears. It's new, the newly enhanced XT2 series tractors from Cub Cadet. These lawn tractors have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated Aeroforce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut with fewer clumps, finer clippings, and increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers push the pedal and go. See the new Cub Cadet Enhanced XT2 Series tractors today at Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
For over 40 years, Region 7 Area Agency on Aging has focused on helping our citizens and providing them with a wide range of free services, from helping you find the right drug plan to helping your loved ones get innovative care at home with access to in-home medical care, medical transportation, and so much more. Call the Region 7 Aging today at 800-858-1637 or visit us online at region7aaa.org.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for JB's Market in Munger. You are going to get a 1-pack of JB's Protein Power Balls and a 4-pack of brats at JB's Market in Munger for only $5. It would usually cost you $10. You are getting it half off. JB's Market serves all Michigan-made products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, break time? I know you. I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
Just like when the automobile came along and the buggy whip manufacturers were put out of business. When a new technology comes along, people in old technology do lose their jobs. It happens every time we change technology.
Tom Sullivan.
Which isn't very often, thank goodness, but it always happens.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7.
I still think we need, not necessarily coal, but certainly natural gas, fossil fuels. We're not ready for alternative energy.
Tom Sullivan on WS.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. There was an article in something called the Detroit Deadline or Deadline Detroit. Has to do with the governor's trip to Florida. Remember that? She got outed. She didn't tell anybody, but after the fact, she got outed for going to Florida for 4 days. She said 2, but it turned out to be 4. And then came home and told everybody, don't go to Florida because of the outbreak of the variant in Florida. It's how she got there, apparently. She petitioned a group of businessmen who have dealings with the state of Michigan to use their private jet that they share to take her down to Florida and bring her home. And as one of them said, it's hard to say no to the governor. If she had chartered a private jet, the average charter for a small private jet, $10,000 to $20,000 for the trip she took. The Gulfstream 280 she flew on would have cost her $40,000. Now, who owes who for that? What do those businessmen get out of it from the state for providing that jet that nobody was told about? You know, the governor refuses to talk about it. The staff doesn't even mention the Florida trip in anything. Yet she ran on a sunshine plan. Do you remember that? The sunshine plan was Transparency in state government. Boy, that word has been around now a lot. Transparency. Well, there's no transparency on this trip. There's been very little transparency on the data she used to close restaurants, for example. Time and time again, they've been petitioned to provide the science, provide the data. And they've yet to come forth with that data that says, gee whiz, here's how much restaurants contributed to COVID-19. If the data is solid, if their science is good, why haven't they put it on the table? They wouldn't even give it to the legislature when they asked for it. So I think the Sunshine Plan has yet to see the sunshine. What the future holds for that, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I've talked to people who have dealt with Governor Whitmer for a long time when she was a senator. And they all, to a person, loved her dearly. She was easy to work with. She listened. They could get their points across. They would discuss, and many times she would agree. They found her charming. One of those folks who told me that said he wouldn't vote for her now if she were the last candidate on the ballot, because he said she's changed. She won't listen. She's gone a little power hungry, he said. So it's an interesting comparison of what she was like that really, in many ways, got her elected. I had talked to a friend of mine who knows her very well, and when I asked about her, because I wasn't familiar with her before the election, he said, well, she's a moderate. She pretty well can work with both sides. Have we seen that? Now, obviously, the pandemic comes along and it changes the way government operates. No two ways about that. Got to give her a little leeway on that. But I think she's gone overboard. I really do. Why the change? I mean, to a person, I am serious about this, to a person who knew her before the governorship, who knew her as a senator, enjoyed working with her, and almost to a person now they wouldn't vote for her. Something has changed. Is it the power of the office? I don't know. Was it COVID-19 that forced the change? I don't know. But she's different now than she was when she was a senator in terms of how she deals with the public, how she deals with the legislature. It's almost very much a dictatorial style. Anyway, we're going to take our last break, and then we will be back to close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Let me ask you how you slept last night. In this day and age, we're all asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed, and theoretically you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress, and they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. And we'll be back to close out after these notes.
Wearing a mask is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all and build community immunity, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, and social distance. One day in the near future, we'll be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Who's really running Joe Biden's White House? The First Lady? Kamala Harris? Maybe Barack Obama? Now, Kelly asks the tough questions. Watch Greg Kelly tonight at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern and see his series, Who's Really in Charge? Newsmax TV is on all major cable systems. If you don't get it, tell your cable operator you want Newsmax. Or download the free Newsmax app on your phone and start watching right away. Millions are watching Newsmax.
2020 was a challenging year, but things are looking up, including the stock market's performance. But will it last? Hi, I'm Ken Murray, Senior Advisor at Retirement Planners of America. If you are 50 or older, call us today to schedule a free consultation to learn more about our Invest and Protect strategy that is designed to help mitigate the risk of the at 800-375-1159 to schedule your free assessment. That's 800-375-1159.
Swinging the ground ball, chopped to third, backhanded by Candelario. Cross the diamond to Cabrera, and Casey Mize does the job. Mize strands 3.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on Radio WSGW.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for the Art Lewis Show for this Thursday morning. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it as always. And we'll be back tomorrow with lots more for you. Coming up on Focus, we're going to talk to someone from Michigan Festival and Events to find out how we're doing coming out of the COVID crisis and what's happening and what's not happening. News before that, CBS News at the top of the hour with the national and international report. Ann Williams with the local report. That's the Great Lakes Bay region in Michigan. We'll be back to talk to you on Focus right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
The help wanted sign is out, but workers are hard to find. It's true in an economy ravaged by the pandemic. Amy Murray is a restaurant owner in Berkeley, California, hoping to hire people before Sunday when she expects a big crowd.
It's unbelievable how many people are coming out for Mother's Day. It's almost like the debutante ball.
This is looking to rev back up now that virus restrictions have been removed or scrambling. CBS's David Begnaud says it's especially true in beach towns.
People moved out of the big cities, say Boston, for example, moved to Cape Cod to work from home during the pandemic. And now some of these temporary workers are saying, hey, I'll go back to Cape Cod to work, but I'm having a hard time finding a place to live.
The government says 400 people filed for unemployment claims last week. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick says that's a sign the job market is improving.
Well, bigger than expected decline in seasonally adjusted new jobless claims turns out to be a most pleasant surprise. Not only did the headline number of claims fall to a new pandemic low, but it slipped slightly below the 500,000.
Million people are collecting unemployment benefits. Florida's governor went to friendly territory this morning to sign the state's new elections law.
Republican Governor Ron DeSantis pushed for the new law despite what he called Florida's most successful and transparent election ever. It includes restrictions on drop boxes, so-called ballot harvesting, and mail-in ballots.
It makes it 100,000 votes 2 or 3 days later.
There was no evidence of any voter fraud here, and election supervisors say the law is expensive and unnecessary. DeSantis signed the bill in West Palm Beach during a Fox News event with Donald Trump supporters. Other media, including CBS, not allowed in. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
An arrest has been made in the case of two Baltimore who were beaten with a cement block as they tried to close their liquor store. John Yoon's mother was one of the women attacked.
I'm feeling enraged watching a video of your mom and your aunt being beat
It's crazy.
The 2021 Teacher of the Year is Juliana Urtubey of Las Vegas. On CBS This Morning, she got the word from First Lady Jill Biden.
Teaching is heart to work. It's a work of the heart, and it's about connecting and making relationships. I'm advocating for students to have a joyous and just education.
Her elementary school students call her Ms. Earth. She uses a garden in her instruction. Many kids are learning English. Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 48. Down 88, and the S&P 500 is down 7.5. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw, plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all proceeds support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
So play on Michigan, 'cause we all win.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
To all you do-it-yourselfers, get ready to welcome Fram into the fam. Because America's #1 oil filter brand now has their own new line of motor oil and fluids. And it's only at Advance and CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop into Advance and choose from 4 new Fram oil change bundles starting at just $20.99. They have the oil and filters you need to keep your engine running stronger, longer. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Live from the 100.5 room. This is WSGW News.
47 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. Police in Bay City are investigating a shooting that happened yesterday about 6:30 p.m. Police responded to McLaren Bay Region Hospital after reports of a victim with multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was a 19-year-old Saginaw resident who'd been dropped off. During an investigation, police discovered empty shell casings in the area of Broadway and 27th. The vehicle the victim was believed to have been in was located near 11th and North Trumbull with multiple bullet holes. The victim is currently in critical condition. If you have any information, contact Bay County Central Dispatch. Congressman Dan Kildee is in Saginaw today to take a tour of the Zilwaukee Bridge. He'll be joined by officials from the Michigan Department of Transportation to discuss the importance of making infrastructure investments to rebuild Mid-Michigan's roads, bridges, and highways to help create good-paying jobs. Kildee supports the American Jobs Plan, which includes $621 billion for transportation infrastructure and $115 billion to modernize roads, bridges, and highways across the nation that are in the most critical need of repair. The Saginaw County Health Department has announced a new location for walk-in clinics inside the store in the Fashion Square Mall. Tuesday through June 30th, the Health Department vaccination team will be there every Tuesday from 9 to 4 and every Wednesday 3:30 to 6:30. The Health Department has temporarily leased the old Sears department store for May and June to provide residents with a convenient, centralized vaccination location near the restaurant and retail corridor in Saginaw County. A decision on extending the lease will be made later. The Health Department said it made the shift to a temporary indoor site for a number of reasons, including slowly declining demand for the vaccine.
Hi, Mike, can you hear me?
Reducing the need for daily clinics.
I can't hear you, though.
Walk-in flexibility in evening hours.
Try it again.
WSTW News Time, 11:07.
Finding great candidates to hire can be.
Sorry, I have myself muted.
There we go.
Needle in a haystack.
All right, we'll be with you.
Post your
We'll
job
be
to
with you
some
shortly.
job board.
Thanks.
But then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
WSTW News Time, 11:08. Senate Republicans have relaxed legislation that would have prohibited the use of absentee ballot drop boxes on Election Day, instead proposing to close them at 5 p.m., 3 hours before Michigan polls close. The change, which is not appeasing opponents, was announced Wednesday. Republican Senator Ed McBroom says the goal is to let clerks gather and process ballots earlier so they're not out after hours working all night to process thousands and thousands of ballots. The critics of the legislation, including local election administrators, say drop boxes should remain open until and secure. The number of people losing jobs and filing for benefits is falling all across the country and here in Michigan. Here's more from Murray Feldman at the Michigan News Network.
30,860 Michigan workers lost jobs last week and filed for benefits. It's a drop of 188 from the week before. It's also the first drop we've seen in 5 weeks. Across the country, 498,000 people left the workforce, a high number, but the lowest we've seen since the pandemic crisis began. For those looking for work, healthcare, technology, manufacturing, and construction are all struggling to get workers. Many companies in these fields have jobs open, but few candidates who are willing to take them or who. One thing job seekers may want to search, companies that have training programs. More of them now are offering that help in order to find the people they need.
Murray Feldman, Michigan News Network.
The United States Tennis Association Midwest section is hosting interactive tennis activities for kids and adults to try the game for free. The association says tennis has been ranked the #1 socially distanced sport. And participation rose 22% during 2020. Play Tennis Midwest events are meant to encourage beginners who are new to the game and anyone who would like to get back into the sport. Kids and adults of all abilities will be able to play on local tennis courts at Richard Shaw Park in Bay City. Also, from 11 to 12:30 that day, players can sign up for adaptive and wheelchair play. If you don't have a racket, they will provide one for you. There's more information and a sign-up portal at the United States Tennis Association website. When you see news happening, call the WSTW Newsroom 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll have a cloudy Thursday with rain showers as high temperatures recover into the low 50s. West-southwest winds light around 5. Rain continuing tonight. Cloud cover 36 degrees for your low. And west-northwest winds still light. We have a chance for rain showers. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder towards the afternoon hours for Friday. Partly sunny skies, mid-50s. Winds picking up, feeling a little breezy. Shower and storm chances into Friday night. Partly cloudy, a low of 34 degrees. I'm staff meteorologist Mandy Thalhuber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 49 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus. Today we're going to focus on Michigan Fun. We're going to talk to the president of the Michigan Festivals and Events Association. He is Michael Suken. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing well. Thanks for joining us. I love your t-shirt. By the way, folks, Mike is on video with me. So if you go to twitch.tv, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you'll be able to see us. I love your sweatshirt that says "Party at My Place." MI being my place. I want to make sure that most of this is very positive, so I want to start with the negative and get it out of the way. How much have we lost from festivals, events because of COVID-19?
Well, our organization, we were able to maintain in 2020 approximately 85% of our membership, which is about par for what a lot of the Chamber of Commerce's had. Some of those events decided not to renew because they just plain gave up, quit. Some of those just decided that they were going to take a break. So the negative happened in 2020. We're focusing on the positive. As you can see the sign behind me, we're bringing back the fun in 2021. And I can tell you that based on the festivals and events that have already happened this year, they've had fantastic turnouts.
Would you expect some of that 15% loss to come back because they haven't quit the business? They only quit the association temporarily?
Well, there's been a little bit of both. There have been some that are going to be permanently lost, and there are going to be those that will come back. We're looking forward to, as the governors and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services regulations continue to relax on the gatherings, that more and more events will pop back up. I think that people are, obviously, you look around the numbers and the people are traveling, people are itching to get back out and resume life.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. So given the current restrictions and what you're allowed to have on site, how are there a lot of festivals and events that are going to operate in the next couple of months?
We had festivals and events. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had the Freeland Walleye Festival,
right?
Which went off very well. I was talking to the owner of Anderson Amusements that was there, and they said they had a fabulous weekend running the carnival there.
It was busy.
Pardon me?
I broadcast from the event, and it was busy where I was. I was at the car show, and there were a lot of people.
There was a lot of people everywhere, and the same thing was said up in Kalkaska for the National Trout Festival. Even with some snow on the ground in the morning, the carnival people there said they had a fabulous turnout. Shepherd had their maple syrup, which I should have gone up there because I love maple syrup pancakes, but I wasn't able to. I can't be everywhere every weekend, but it's looking good. Tulip Time started this past weekend in Holland. It's running all week and will conclude next weekend, and they're having good numbers there also.
Yep. I'm on the community steering committee for the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, the LPGA event, and I had Chris Chandler on this morning, the executive director, and we're looking forward to it. And particularly as the state begins to loosen up these outdoor events, more and more people can attend. I think the summer is going to look pretty bright.
Well, we've got a few things in our favor. First of all, this is year number 2 of COVID. So we have a track record to look at what happened in last year. And if you look at the numbers for last year statewide, the numbers plummeted and hit rock bottom by Memorial Day weekend. And they stayed low all summer long until after Labor Day weekend when they started to peak up. Again, the summer months, everybody's outside. The disease, the virus doesn't work very well outside. So those numbers are in our favor. One of the other things that we have in our favor is that this year we have 3 different vaccines available. And I can tell you that those vaccines, you and I are old enough to remember the Kmart blue light specials. That
yeah.
And it seems like every store I've been in has got a blue light special, no waiting for vaccines in our pharmacy department. Yeah. So the vaccine is available. It's just a matter of whether or not people choose to take advantage of that or not.
That's the good news. Bad news, the supply is ample. Now we got to get people to get in there and take the shot. And that has impact on all of our festivals and events, because the more people that get the shot, the looser the restrictions are going to be in terms of how many people you can actually have at a lot of these events, indoors and outdoors. So it's critical that everybody gets those vaccines.
Well, 2 days ago, the governor or the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services opened things up based on square footage. That was something that Michigan Festivals and Events, Michigan Association Affairs, a number of different organizers tried to push Lansing to do July of last year instead of the 10 people indoor, 100 people outdoor, regardless of square footage. Going with the 20 people per 1,000 square foot eliminates the cap.
Right. Cap is on the size of your ground.
You can have as many people as you want there, as long as you've got the square footage to accommodate it.
Right. All right, Mike, I got to take a break. Hang on. We're talking to Mike Sukanti. He is the president of Michigan Festivals and Events, also known as MichiganFun.com. We'll tell you more about that when we return here on Focus.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have what you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Bader & Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. We are here to help you farm Michigan. We have filters, belts, and hoses for your equipment. You'll find them in-store and online at greentractors.com. With John Deere's Good, Better, Best parts program, combined with our trained parts pros, we can help you find the parts you need. Count on us to provide the service your equipment deserves in our 10 service shops or in the field. Let Bader & Sons Company show you why we have the service and the parts at the right price.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for JB's Market in Munger. You are going to get a 1-pack of JB's Protein Power Balls and a 4-pack of brats at JB's Market in Munger for only $5. It would usually cost you $10. You are getting it half off. JB's Market serves all Michigan-made products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Timeshare owners, getting out of your timeshare can feel like a battle. All you want is to save some money, reduce your stress, and stop paying for something you aren't even using. But the process can be daunting, frustrating, and confusing. But it doesn't have to be. With Newton Group, you get access to an exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. This secret weapon is something only Newton Group offers and was developed to help timeshare owners just like you save thousands of dollars and regain control of their finances. And this secret weapon is a key part of why we have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 4.7 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and a proven track record to legally relieve you from the financial burden of your timeshare. If you want out of your timeshare, visit besttimeshareexit.com to learn more about this exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. Exit.com or call 877-TOP-EXIT. That's besttimeshareexit.com to get you out of your timeshare. Go to besttimeshareexit.com now or call 877-TOP-EXIT.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you on Focus. We are focusing on Michigan Festivals and Events with the president of the Michigan Festivals and Events Association, He is Mike Sukent. Mike, let's talk about the website for a little bit. I love the name, Michigan Fun. So tell us about the website and what's on it, what people can find.
They can see all the events that are currently on our schedule. Also, one of the things that we have we had to do something different in 2021. We printed magazines last year to go into all the visitor centers, and unfortunately, when the visitor centers all closed, we weren't able to get those magazines into people's hands. So we went with a virtual magazine, and it is available on our website, and you can flip through that magazine just like you were flipping through an actual magazine. The difference is because it's virtual, as you run your cursor over it, you can go to the festival or event's actual website right there and get all their information. You can download their app. You can check on the advertisers. So all the stuff is up there. There have been a few events that have canceled for various reasons. Maybe because they're on property that they weren't able to use this year, or maybe they didn't have the volunteers. That's one of the challenges that we have statewide is labor. So we need to do that. The governor's also stepped out with her steps. You alluded to it before the break. I'm getting COVID vaccinated, and I'm a member of the Michigan Association of Chamber Professionals, and one of the conversations that we've had at some of our Zoom meetings was whether or not we could get the governor to break those into zones instead of statewide, because the Northwest Michigan Alliance, which is the Traverse City, the Bay, Grand Traverse Bay Area, they're well over 55% of vaccinations right now. So they would love to be able to open things up even more based on what they've been able to accomplish. So, if there's anything that's guaranteed right now, it's things are changing.
Yeah. Well, the notion of zones is not new because she opened up Traverse City early on last year.
Exactly.
And Mackinac Island and places like that. So you would think that would be a logical step. But you brought up the one real kink in this whole thing: labor. Not only volunteers, but paid labor. The hospitality industry and the tourism industry is having a very difficult time right now.
Everyone is. Everyone is. I drive around Michigan. This job is almost my hobby because I was doing it anyways. They just hired me to do what I was doing anyways. Once upon a time we talked about, and everybody thought it was absolutely ridiculous that we would have a minimum wage at $15 an hour. And yet I see signs all over in every business's front yard that they're hiring people between $13 and $17 an hour. They're offering signing bonuses. The numbers, I heard on your radio on the program earlier today, the numbers of unemployment claims are down. So if unemployment claims are down and we're still having such a challenge with the filling of these positions, where are these people?
I don't know.
We did lose a congressional seat because of loss of population. So did all those people move out of the state?
No, but what's interesting about that? Yeah, we lost a congressional seat, but we didn't lose population. We actually gained population, but not as much as some of the other states.
Right.
So we lost a congressional seat, but we gained people. So you really have to ask yourself, where are they? I don't know the answer to that. And I don't know that anybody does. For a while you could say, well, unemployment, they're paying them more than they were making working. There's been suggestions maybe they ought to take that supplement and put it onto their wages and give them more money to work to incentivize it. But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, this is a very difficult time right now for everybody. So let's end on a very positive note. Festivals, events are returning. Give everybody the website again.
MichiganFun.com.
Gotta love that name. Well, let's hope for a great season. I think we're going to have one. I know this coming Saturday, I'm going to be at Shipshewana on the Road is coming back. They're going to be in Frankenmuth this weekend. Lots of activities and things happening, which is a good sign. Mike, always a pleasure. We'll do it again.
Thank you, Art. I always look forward to visiting with you.
I look forward to. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Mike Sukent from Michigan Festivals and Events. He is the president of the organization. We'll take our last break, and then we will be back with more. Let me talk about Krizak's House Family Restaurant, proud to be a business that serves this area with the finest in dining and takeout services. Grateful for all of you who have supported them. They look forward to serving you once again. And, of course, they're closed on Mondays for that very thing I was talking to Mike about, and that is labor. But every day otherwise is takeout day at Krizak's, today from 11 to 7, tomorrow and Saturday 11 to 8. Krizak's House Family Restaurant at the corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. For takeouts and reservations for parties, events, call 894-5531. Krizak's. We will take a break, be back to close out.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go for.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and millions in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the first vaccine available to us. Keep wearing masks correctly and taking precaution. We reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
While you're comfortable inside your home, weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Listen to this time, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For fitting needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And that'll do it for Focus today. We thank you for joining us, and we'll be back tomorrow with lots more. Meantime, stick around. Terry Henney's Farm Show comes along next here on WSGW.
Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Natural light is known to elevate your mood, boost your productivity, and even improve your health. With window treatments that provide a perfect combination of UV protection, privacy, natural light can also enhance your home interior. During the Hunter Douglas Celebration of Light Savings event, now through June 21st, you can save big with special rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous window treatments. Discover how Silhouette window shadings beautifully diffuse light to create a soft glow, and how Pirouette window shadings provide sculptural beauty light control. Luminette privacy shears are also an ideal vertical solution for large panes of glass and sliding doors, which let in tons of natural light. These Hunter Douglas shears and shadings are available in a wide selection of luxurious fabrics, colors, and textures, so you can easily find the perfect look and the perfect light for your home. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth, all together.
Swim trunks and milk. Whether you're on a vacation or getting groceries, if you don't make a list, chances are you'll forget something. The same is true in retirement. If you want to make sure you haven't overlooked anything, Jason and Carl Kreiderman at Great Lakes Investment Advisors can help. They have a checklist to help you find out if you are on track for retirement. Take the checklist challenge. If you can check all the boxes on the list, you may be ready for Great Lakes Investment Advisors can help you address any potential costly mistakes. For the complimentary checklist, visit greatlakesoffers.com/list. See if you've got it right. Take the checklist challenge today at greatlakesoffers.com/list. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Incorporated, a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
RocketGrab.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for JB's Market in Munger. You are going to get a 1-pack of JB's Protein Power Balls and a 4-pack of brats at JB's Market in Munger for only $5. That would usually cost you $10. You are getting it half off. JB's Market serves all Michigan-made products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com. Your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I need these boxes in bin 7. Oh, hello. Hi. I just want to call in and find out when next...
Whitney's warehouse foreman just retired, and the replacement needs to move to fulfillment.
Hold on. Guys, can we get the dock cleared now?
Indeed can help her hire the people she needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Swing the ground ball, chopped to third, backhanded by Candelario. Cross the diamond to Cabrera. Mize does the job. Mize strands 3.
The Tigers play 12:50 today on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and on.
Well, a mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Things clouded up just a little bit, and we are anticipating a little bit of light shower activity as we go through the afternoon, much needed still. The drought monitors continue to be at moderate levels over much of the state, although western parts of the lower peninsula are getting a little bit more precipitation over the past week to 10 days, but still we're running well below average. Mostly cloudy, as I said, 49 degrees at the airport, 49 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is looking at 50 degrees. Downtown Bay City is also at 49. It looks like we're about as warm as we're going to get as we go into the afternoon. Not only will the clouds thicken up, but radar is indicating that the west side of the state is picking up precipitation. Big Rapids, Fremont, Holland, Grand Rapids, Ludington, Muskegon, even Mount Pleasant. Now this hour is reporting drizzle. As far north as Cadillac, they're getting some light rain. And then all the way down into the southwestern corner, they're seeing mostly cloudy skies and some drizzle in the South Haven area. And temperatures, for the most part, mid to upper 40s and low 50s. I think the Ann Arbor area is about as warm as we're going to see. They're currently at 52 degrees there. As we go through the afternoon, showers will move into the Great Lakes Bay area. But once again, as we have seen, not a lot of heavy rain associated with any of this activity. and it does appear as though it's going to move out rather rapidly tonight. Unfortunately, the clouds are going to thin out, and it will get pretty chilly tonight. We're watching the latest information, and it does appear as though we'll drop down to right around 34, 35 degrees with a light northeast breeze that will change and come out of the west 5, 7, 8 miles per hour after midnight and early morning tomorrow morning. So the skies will thin out. It will get cold, but we're not anticipating any heavy frost. As I said, we will be looking at temperatures 34, 35, 36 degrees. Low-lying areas, it will get a little bit colder than that. Those areas where you do see freezing late this time in the spring, most susceptible to seeing those freezing conditions. And tomorrow, we're going to warm up a little bit, but not much. Our anticipated high today is right around 50. We should move up to about 53, 54 degrees. Sun once again early tomorrow, but then the clouds will be moving in and there will be spotty showers around. A lot better precipitation coverage in southern Michigan, especially into eastern Ohio, as that low pressure system will be taking up residence there later on tomorrow afternoon. And then clearing skies once again on Friday night. And Friday night promises to be the coldest evening right now. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we're going to be looking at some temperatures, 29, 30 degrees on Friday night, optimistically 31 in your backyard, but it will be colder on Friday night than it will tonight. Then Saturday, we're still going to be flirting with 34, 35, 36 degrees, but the chances of frost won't be nearly as great on Saturday, because on Saturday night, we'll see a few more clouds around. 55 is going to be our high on Saturday. So, yeah, we're running below average on these temperatures. We're going to continue to run below average on the temperatures until we work our way into the middle of next week. And then after the middle of next week, we're looking at a trend toward average, at least, temperatures, which is 65 in the afternoon and 43 at night. So we will be turning the corner on these cool temperatures. And after that, what are we looking at? Well, the probability really decreases as far as chances of frost after we hit about the 15th of the month of May over much of the Great Lakes Bay region. And that's what we're looking at right now. The chances are like 20% of getting any kind of frost and freezing temperatures after the 15th to the 18th of May. Record high in this state is 88. That was set back in 1930. The record low, 29, set in 1970. So I don't think we're going to hit our record low, but there is going to be a pretty good chance of tomorrow night of seeing a record low temperature reading. The record low of 29 was set back in 1970. A year ago, 61 was our high, 34 was our low. Sun will set this evening at 8:45, rise tomorrow morning at 6:21. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We're going to touch base with Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer in just a moment. The market report has been brought to you. I should say the market report coming up in a minute. The weather report has been brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment. They want to remind you those Farmall tractors, they're ready to go to handle the job that you need to get done. You know, it's all about efficiency. It's all about horsepower. It's all about comfort. Well, that's what you're talking when you're talking Farmall tractors. 30 to 105, an army of attachments. It'll tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing, and then some. So see them for yourself today. Sit in that seat of that Farmall tractor and just imagine how easy and how comfortable it's going to be to get that work done. Farmall tractors, Weiss Equipment, 450 North Main, across from Kroger and Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Doug, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. What's going on with the markets today?
Got season ticket, one-way ride. We're good. It's all good. The brakeman has jumped off the train and it's rolling.
Unbelievable.
Nobody's stopping her.
Wow. Soybeans, from what I saw a little bit earlier, having a pretty good day.
8 to 10 year highs on everything, corn and soybeans, I should say. And copper also. You know, the guys that normally steal copper this time of year, they're still unemployed, collecting unemployment, so they don't even have to go to work. And
well, thank goodness for the stimulus for that, I'll tell you.
So we're all good.
Wow.
Interesting. The dollar is down, and so that's got some of the fuel, but momentum is everything, and unlimited money. The speculators have absolutely unlimited pockets of money. They're playing on house money. If they need money, they just say, snap their fingers, need $1 billion here to play this, or $1 billion there to play that, and that's what they're doing, and it makes a big difference. So here are the numbers. July corn, $7.15 1/4, up 6 3/4. The December corn, $6.19 3/4, up 15 cents. July soybeans, $15.67 1/2, up 25 1/4. November soybeans, $14.04 1/2, up 21 3/4. The July wheat is $7.45 1/2, up a penny, and the December wheat $7.48, up 2 cents. Crude oil finally has stopped moving up. It's $65.21, still plenty expensive, down 42 cents. Heating oil $199.96, that's down 4/10 of a penny. Gasoline $212.96, down 2.2 cents, and natural gas $2.97, that's down 1 1/4 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar only gets you $1.2189 at the border. That's down 75 ticks. The yen is at 109.14, down 4 ticks. The euro 120.51, that's up 46 ticks. The dollar's at 90.96, down 34.5 ticks. Gold's at 18.1290, up 28.80. Silver's at 27.55, up $1.05, and platinum's at 12.5390, up 25.10. Amazing.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What seems to be the scuttlebutt around as far as these markets go? Everyone is just scratching their head right
There's
now.
no sellers. There's flat out no sellers, and the momentum players own the world. That's it.
That's it in a nutshell.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it. And it's absolutely exactly the same as when the Hunt brothers cornered silver. There's no sellers. No real sellers.
Wow.
You got 50,000 bushel here or 50,000 bushel there. That's not a real deal.
No.
Million bushel deals. That's the players.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Doug. Another day, more fun.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. When we return, Jerry Samolsky from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center will be joining us. He comes along, and Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission as well, as Farm Service continues right after this.
If you're shopping for a pickup truck, by now you know that Silverado inventories are at an all-time low. I'm Steve Cook from the Cook GM Superstore in Vassar with some great news. A rule of thumb in economics is that when inventories get low and demand increases, prices skyrocket up. Well, what if I told you that at the Cook GM Superstore in Vassar, just the opposite is happening? That's right. Our featured vehicle this month is a full-size four-wheel Silverado crew cab. That's the pickup with a full back seat. First, we've secured a precious inventory of them. Second, we'll put your name on one before it even gets here. And third, and best of all, you can lease one right now starting as low as $298 a month. and that's with zero down. There's only one catch. They won't last long. Get out today. Cook Chevrolet Buick, M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar.
Payments based on 24-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. 818 do it signing. Call toll free or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. They've been doing that since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. So call them for a quote today. Jerry Samolsky joining me this morning from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. You got a plant of the week, and I bet Mom would really be happy with this one.
Sure would be. It is called Deutzia. Now, a lot of plants have strange names and people don't understand them, like Forsythia. We've kind of come used to that. That's its scientific name as well as its common name. Well, Deutzia is the same thing. It's Deutzia, and actually it's after Johann van der Deutz. He was a botanist way back in the 1700s, and he's the one that hybridized and worked with these plants. And Deutzia is a flowering shrub. It's going to flower in the next couple weeks. White flowering. It likes a little bit of shade. It will take full sun, but it would prefer a little bit of shade. And like every other plant we talk about on these Plant of the Weeks, there are so many varieties of Deutzia. There's Chardonnay Pearls and Slender Deutzia. Chardonnay Pearls has a little bit more of a champagne, golden kind of color to it. It still flowers white. And then there's Nico and Yuki Cherry Blossom. Those are a little bit shorter plants. Slender Deutzia, about 3, maybe 4 feet tall, maybe 3-4 feet wide. Plenty hardy enough, tolerant to different soils. It's a great, easy plant to grow. White flowers early in the year, so that, again, we always look for stuff early in the spring to get that winter blahs out and help us feel like spring and summer is coming and have some leaves and greenery. And Deutzia does that just fine for us.
So if somebody wants to take a look at it, they can stop by the nursery. Where are you located?
We're out in Essexville in Hampton Township, just north of M25 and east of Pine Street. So we're on north-southeast Bowtel Road. Look us up, and we're here weekdays till 5, and then Saturday 9 to 2.
Now, you've got a website, and you've also got Facebook. Can we see it on one of those as well?
It should be up on Facebook, and it should be on our website as well very shortly. Yes, sir.
Very good. Jerry Samolsky, thank you very much. You take care. You just took care of a few Mother's Day gift ideas right there.
Happy Mother's Day.
All righty. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Along with me right now, before he has to go Mother's Day shopping, I better get a hold of Joe Kramer here with the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, we had the opportunity yesterday to talk to a couple of guys about this grain marketing and how dry beans can fit into all of this. Our Talking Beans presentation has been exceptionally well received so far. Give it for those that haven't seen it yet, and you can, but for those of you that haven't seen it yet, just give me a couple of highlights. What was your thought of Talking Beans yesterday?
Well, Terry, I think we went for 30 minutes or so, and I could have went for another hour probably because I just like the topic. But, it was interesting to talk to a grain guy. We had Lou from Cooperative Elevator with us, who originates grain for them. And he surprised me a little bit right out of the chute with sort of his long-term bullish tone. But I think he was spot on by the end of our conversation by suggesting that growers do their best to mitigate risk with participation, right? Take advantage of some of these market highs, and you don't have to sell it all at once, but be participatory, right? And then Caleb Sunblad with also with Co-op Elevator, he manages their dry bean division, and I thought he did a good job of tying the two together. And he's just as bullish dry beans and sees a lot of upside potential on dry beans. He cautions that as fast as grains can go up, they can come back down, just the way they cycle through. But he was pretty bullish dry beans as well, wasn't he?
He was very, and of course, they're up in the thumb, up in the Pigeon area, which has been the heartland when it comes to dry bean production in Michigan. So obviously the conditions, soil conditions, weather conditions are very conducive to black beans, all of the dry bean varieties. And I think the upshot also was that this is what you've been talking about all the way along. There's a market for the beans right now. So producers don't have to worry about sitting on the beans. There's a demand for them right now.
Yeah, it seems that between COVID and reduced acreage and poor weather conditions around the globe, we've been able to move a lot of product, and there doesn't seem to be an end in that. I don't want to sound greedy, but it doesn't feel that way. And we add in the drought conditions in Mexico that we're reading about as that drought extends right up through the Midwest and even into Manitoba. So we need to keep our eye on all of those things, but again, lots of opportunities if you're a farmer today.
It sure is. And I had to laugh when in the conversation yesterday, we were talking about growers. They've got so much of their crop in right now. They're going to have to sit and wait for about 3 weeks before they can put any dry beans in.
But that's certainly a challenge, isn't it? I mean, when you've got great weather and soil conditions are, as you say, nearly perfect, and it's just tough to put that tractor and planter into neutral and wait for the right time to put dry beans in. And of course, Chicago Board of Trade is asking you to plant more corn and asking you to plant more soybeans. So, bean folks are going to have their hands full getting the acres in the ground this year yet, but don't lose sight of the opportunities and the upside of that market down the road.
Yeah, risk management has to do with trying to avoid any pitfalls, but also take advantage of some of the pluses out there.
Well, and I think Lou said that well, too. He said, figure out what your cost of production is, make sure you understand that and take profit all the way up. And you may not sell at the high, but you're certainly not, you're not at the bottom either today. And when you lock in these values, it keeps you in the black ink for another year. And he seemed to have a bullish attitude beyond a year, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. Joe, thanks a lot. You take care. Have a good one. All right.
You too. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Farm Service has been brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. They've got that product called Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from ValveTech Petroleum. So contact your Foster representative today or go online, fosterbluewateroil.com, and learn a whole lot more about it. Joe Kramer's report has been brought to you by the folks at Weiss Equipment and by the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Steve Anderson joins us right now with Baird & Company. Steve, what's going on in New York today?
Well, right now we've got markets generally higher with the Dow Jones Industrial Average ahead by 180 points, putting it at 34,410. Volume there is 398 million shares. The NASDAQ is at 13,588. That's up 555 on 460 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 240.26 up 238. Deere 388.81 up 10.03. CMS is 64.02 up a quarter. Dow 68.33 up 26. DuPont 80.55 down 37. Corteva 47.67 down a penny. GM 58.11, up 53. Trinzio 67.45, down 45. Walmart 141.01, up 96. Home Depot 336.81, up 476. Huntington Banks 15.56, up a penny. TCF is at 46.36, unchanged, and AT&T is 32.20, up 17.
All righty. Steve, you have a good day, okay?
I certainly will. You do the same.
You take care. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. All you got to do is find out why over 50,000 of your friends and neighbors say that the Frankenmuth Credit Union is their hometown financial solution by going online, frankenmuthcu.org. Didn't have the opportunity to check in on the fruit industry, but we will do that tomorrow, so stick around on that, all righty? We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so stick around for that. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kaith. In Florida is the latest state to enact new voting and elections laws. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis used a Fox News event to sign a new bill into law, not allowing other media outlets in to witness or ask questions.
We're making sure we're enforcing voter ID. We're also banning ballot harvesting. We're not going to let political operatives go and get satchels of votes and dump them in some drop box.
Critics say there's been no voter fraud in Florida, and the new law will make it tougher for some people to vote. A secret House Republican ballot could come as soon as next week on Liz Cheney's future as the number 3 member of the party leadership structure. CBS's Nancy Cordes says she's firing back against the members of the GOP now lined up against her.
In a new op-ed, she once again calls out former President Trump's false claims. She urges GOP colleagues to steer away from the dangerous and anti-democratic Trump cult of personality. Mr. Trump called Cheney a warmongering fool.
The government says 498,000 people filed claims for unemployment benefits last week. That's a new low in the pandemic. CBS's David Begnaud reports some businesses looking to staff up or finding it hard to get new workers.
We're going to be more efficient.
David Colombo has 3 restaurants.
What are you applying for?
Colombo says he needs to find about 40 more workers.
This year, you have to entice them a little more.
What are you willing to pay? A little bit more.
I wish not to say that because they may be listening.
Tourism is a nearly $7 billion business in Cape May County, which is in New Jersey. Chamber of Commerce President Vicki Clark says a backlog of temporary J-1 student visas are adding to the problem.
That program did not happen last year because of COVID. There is a huge backlog of these applications. Not all embassies around the world have opened up, and so students are having a very difficult time getting their visa appointments.
The school day got off to a wild and dangerous start in South Carolina's capital, as we hear from CBS's Jim Crisula.
Police in Columbia, South Carolina say an armed trainee from the Army's Fort Jackson commandeered a school bus loaded with 18 elementary school children and their driver about 7 a.m. today. The bizarre incident started when the trainee, in his third week, ran from the Army post armed with a rifle. Investigators say he tried to flag down vehicles on nearby Interstate 77 for spotting the school bus that was picking up children. They were able to safely get off the bus, which the man drove away before police were able to arrest him.
The Biden administration is proposing to revoke a Trump-era rule that weakened protections on most bird species. Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 172 points. The S&P 500 up 11. This is CBS News.
This hour's newscast is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need an expert to help navigate the home loan process, Rocket can.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 49 degrees at 12:03. Good afternoon. I'm Ann Williams. A Gratiot County teenager